what a nigga gotta say now. Sipping any, we be mobbing through the night, oh yeah. Moving like we trapping out of bando. I need. I need you here for me. Don't you fuck around, I know you hurt by me. I need. Oh, let's go, I got money on me. New city, new bitch, new kid. Missed calls and the rain on me. I've been down and out, but a nigga still breathing. Saying my prayers for the check. Straight shooter like I'm walking with a tech. Move deep and I'm pounding on my chest. You know what I want. You know what I need. Ice cold bitch when I'm sipping my tea. I don't mean it. Feeling myself, feeling my knees. Feel like repercussions ain't gon' ever catch me. Heard what I said and I can't help it. I ain't never gon' rest, never gonna test me, check me. I need. I need you here for me. Don't you fuck around, I know you hurt by me. I need. Oh, yeah, I'm a touchdown in the matrix, yeah. Shawty send me your location, 120 on the freeway, speeding. Big checks, blue pills, I'm feeding. Young boy finna do my thing. Get the FBI, put a case on me. Feel like everything gon' cave on me. Shawty, hold on, have faith in me. You don't wanna. Oh, I gotta. But I gotta. You don't wanna. Type you wanna see her every day. She just wants somebody for the night.
Good morning, Discord. Morning, YouTube. Okay, let me do a quick check. Is the live stream going in Discord? Because I know I had issues yesterday. It's not going. I wonder why that is. I don't know why the stream isn't working in Discord. Let me try it again. I'm gonna disconnect and come back.
Catching feelings from a pipe dream, oh no.
Can you see it now? On my end it says it's working.
I don't need nobody for the day. I just need somebody for the night.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Market open. Let's see what we got. As I said in the analysis, I think we are at an interesting point right now, and I would trade light. It's yeah, I would definitely trade light. But we'll see what we got. Level by level.
Catching feelings from a pipe dream, oh no.
So lately, the last 2 days, I did do a Discord update, and like the last 2 days, it's been, ever since the update, I've had to restart the stream. I'm gonna double check, make sure it's working. Are we still good? Is the Discord working today? Just making sure. Okay, thanks. All right, let's get back into it. Yeah, it's like I was saying, I'll just doing some of the looking at the 30-minute, and we're in an interesting position right now. We're in an interesting position, so usually I can give it, like, you know, some type of direction, but you know, I gave the scenarios in the analysis portion what we're looking for. Okay. Right, so we want to see if we're going to test that 565.14 to fill that gap, because there's a gap that needs to be filled, and we actually just had a discussion on this last night. We just had a discussion on filling that gap. I put it in the analysis portion, so we're going to see if we're going to fill that gap and bounce up, or if we are maybe grab some liquidity. We're going to see. I don't want to try to predict anything, but we want to keep our mind open to the possibilities, and rejection underneath this 567.42 is looking juicy, but we have another key level here, so let's see how we react off of this. What I don't want to do is say, oh, look at all these red candles, let's go in now. That's what I don't want to do. You know, if it dumps right here and we just missed the move, then we missed the move. That's something we're gonna have to live with. That's something we're gonna have to be okay with, because, you know, we only trade with the proper setup. But yeah, it's easy to say now, oh man, should have bought a put, but that's not proper trading. That's gambling at that point. It looks like it still has some room for some down though, that's for sure. You know, we death crossed a couple days ago. The death cross being the MA going underneath, right? One MA going underneath the other MA, the 20 going underneath the 200. It still has some significant room for the down. Let's adjust this. There we go. I want to see if we fill this gap down here, this gap right here. I'm going to highlight this to see if we get underneath this. This is another key level. I'll make it a little bit brighter. Alright. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I still got some room for the down.
Let me get it on T. And you know I'm holding out for the G60. Especially when the Louis and the VV. Riding around the CG. Know you heard about it, let me get it on T. And you know I'm holding out for the G60. All the greed and the lust, cause you want a piece of the pie, all that shit is bleeding me dry, I don't want your piece in the vice, call it down for me. These I like bitches all the time. These days I ain't even gonna lie, don't let me down. I've been throwing these honeys on a dime.
Oh.
All that smoking made me tired. 22's a call it Tyra and Mariah.
I know it. That put looked nice. I know it, but we have our rules. It'll come. Don't worry. Don't force anything. We have our rules. Looks like this purple's holding up.
singing, don't rate me. Gotta keep it settled, gotta keep it low key. Money like me, money like. Bitch, I'm in the city with a coke fiends. How they talking money when the money don't speak? Money in Geneva like it came from the street. Shawty in Vienna, gotta get it with me. Shawty know, gotta know, only know I'm like that. Set, straight back to the crib, switch cars, I'm right back. Left, and he know that it can't. I didn't go really left. No, when I move way too left. Yeah, Shawty won't slide, try to know me. I can never get it too close.
Oh boy, that put. It's okay, no FOMO here, right? No FOMO here. Let's see if we get a strong tag off of this for that. I haven't confirmed this magenta, by the way, so this is not confirmed. If this does happen, then it'll help confirm it. Ideally, before we get some down motion, ideally we like to grab liquidity off one of the MAs before it goes down. But as I said earlier this morning, we might be trying to grab off of 565.14, which is right here. So let's see what happens here. 565.14 right here. Let's see if we're just gonna fill that gap and turn around. If that does happen, if it does, I'm not saying, but what we do know for sure is we're in a solid downtrend as of right now in the short term. That's what we do know. That gap got filled. See the gap right here? I put it in the chat last night, which is actually coinciding with this green that I have on the 30-minute. So we're gonna see if we're gonna bounce off this gap fill.
Say she adore me, Christy and Dior, yeah. Fuck with me some more.
Just wait before you go in on anything. We need to see more structure. We need to wait. We need to wait. I'm still figuring out all the stuff. I don't know yet. We have to wait because that gap just got filled. It should be in like right now. Right now that gap just got filled. So let's see what happens here, and then we're gonna wait for the structure to play out for the setup. So what we do know, we're in a downtrend, right? A short-term downtrend, and the calls are gonna look, have to be somewhere up here, somewhere at 565, wherever level this flexion point is. That's what we're looking for. We fill that gap, right? Fill the gap. Let's go back and look. All right, gap filled perfectly. Now let's see how we react off this gap fill. Is it going to be a gap fill reversal, or is it just is that enough to push it down further? We don't know yet, so we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Yeah, I'm not. Today is an interesting day. I don't know. We're between some levels here. And if you did take this flexion right here, your trade's protected, but it's, yeah. But you'd have to, we're at a 50-50 right here because of the gap fill. The gap fill is going to make it a 50-50. So we're going to see how we react off the gap fill. Here, I'm going to recap that, right? So last night I noticed, or I pointed out, this gap right here in the price, right? So my thesis today was, are we going to fill this gap, which we did, right? The price filled in this gap. Now, are we going to fill the gap and reverse off of that? Or are we going to fill the gap and then, like the blue, you see how the blue is? Bounce underneath this green. So we would prefer to see the setup would look like rejecting underneath the green to continue down. That's what the setup would look like. So now we need to translate that to our 1 minute chart. Or are we going to gap fill reversal, meaning fill the gap, right? Fill this gap right here, which we did, and then reverse up off of that. So because we're in such weird market situation right now, we gotta wait for the proper setup, not just any old setup. Not just any old setup. Now let's wait till somewhere up here, right? That's why I'm telling you to wait for the structure, because this isn't, there's too many factors to factor in right now before we even do anything. I think I might be okay with this magenta here. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this magenta. So now, let's see. You want to see something like, so you're gonna have right there, 50-50 right there. And then with this, we'll confirm if it's going to be break a magenta for the day. Right? So the safer calls are going to be somewhere up here. It's going to be somewhere up here. We want it to break the magenta because we're still looking out for this right here. So these are the scenarios as of right now. Now, would it be nice to have the reject off of here and go straight out? Sure, that would be nice. But like I said, we're at an interesting position as far as price goes, because I personally don't think that the bulls are willing to give up just yet, and it seems like it'd just be too easy for the it would be too easy just to let it go like that. So this is why we wait for confirmations. We don't even need to chase, and not every day is a trading day. And that's why I put that message this morning, because I was kind of expecting chop, because I don't think either side's willing to give up just yet, because we're at high liquidity. There's too much liquidity here, and when it breaks, it's gonna break. Whichever way it breaks. Here, let me show you what I mean. Like, there's a lot of liquidity built up, especially with this. Now that they filled in this gap, there's a lot of liquidity built up. So when if it breaks down, it's gonna break, right? If it breaks up, it's gonna take some time. So our safe call is gonna be when it does something like this over here. So this price, what, 566.70, around there. That's gonna be our safe, right? Because I called it literally before the market opened, probably a few minutes before the market opened. Gap fill reversal, right? So it filled the gap, now it's reversing. You'll get there, don't worry. This is too easy. You'll get there. You will get there, I promise you. If you keep just taking in all the cues that I'm giving you, and all the clues that I'm dropping. Look at that, gap fill reversal, easy. I said it this morning. Gap fill reversal. We filled the gap, and now we bounce up from there. Go read the analysis. I just said it. That's why it's important that you read that analysis. I'm not just doing this, for giggles. It's so you guys can learn what's taken me all this time. Now you're getting the information instantly into your head, where I had to, learn it the hard way. All right, now the ideal, we want to see some retracement. Why do we want to see retracement? If it shoots up from here, it shoots up. But ideally, we like to see retracement, because the retracement is going to tell us that we have strength to go further up, to test the MAs. Very simple. Gap fill reversal, test the MAs. So we're in between this gap fill reversal and the MAs. I wouldn't be surprised if we just trade chop in between here. So our ideal call setups are going to look like break, retest, reject of the 20, the 20 and the 5. Look how they are right here next to each other. Interesting times. Yeah, now I like to see some retracement. A little bit of retracement right here would be nice.
Drinking party, yeah, we keep the lights low. I'm in my mind all the way. Ice cold, what a nigga gotta say now. Sipping honey, we be mobbing through the night, though, yeah. Moving like we trapping out of bando.
So I like this magenta. Retracement. Yeah, we like it to dig a little bit deeper, at least maybe 2 or 3 candles. Maybe 2 or 3 candles, bounce off this key level right here, 565.95. That'd be the ideal, right? I'm gonna clean the chart up just a bit. You see how we did the 50-50 here, and then, but our confirmation was the break of magenta, right? That's our confirmation. So then I'm gonna clean this up. Now we'd like to see this right here. So if it does break magenta, it's going to be break, retest, and reject under magenta, okay? Otherwise, it's going to be exactly what I said over here.
I don't really care no more. Shawty wanna use me, yeah, yeah. Hey, run it up no more, hey, none of y'all niggas they poppin'. Yeah, I know you do this often. Hey, I'm running out of options. I'm okay, I'm fine. Hey, I'ma swallow all my pride. Won't be nothing but a side piece. Oh, oh. Catching feelings with my pipe dream. Oh no. She be feeling type of ways. I don't need nobody for the day. I just need somebody for the night.
Profit target's obviously going to be at the MAs, right? Obviously at the MAs is going to be profit target. Ideally, that's what we like, right? Right up here. So I think I might like this blue. Trade protected. Trade is protected. So bouncing inside the blue. So if we break the blue, that's your clue. If we break magenta, that's the confirmation. Now look, I told you exactly what level. Look at the wick on this green. It is precisely on my drawing. It is precisely on my drawing. You can't make it up. You simply can't make that up. Simply amazing. Simply amazing. Hoo-wee! Print. It's too easy. We did break below, however, pace car, we did break below. However, we needed to reject underneath. So, yeah, we needed the rejection underneath that green to confirm anything. Look at the money we are printing. It's too easy. I told you at the exact level where the calls are going to be. Your trade is protected. I told you the exact level. Okay? Single contracts. When we break this blue, you know, that's your cue. Take your quick base hit. This is too easy. Look at the money. Look at this money. The exact level was told to you. I told you this morning, gap fill reversal. Look for the testing of the gap, which we did, and it bounced right off of it. You have to read the trading plan. It was in there. This morning, I literally said it before the market opened. I told you this would happen before the market opened. Right? If we wanted to head down, I want to see us go up, grab liquidity from the MAs, and then head down. Otherwise, the up scenario would have been to fill the gap and then continue up. We just had this class, or what was it? A discussion in the water cooler channel last night. Look at this money. Look at the money we're printing every day. You just have to wait. You don't have to be impatient. Sure, we could have got in somewhere here, but that would have been gambling. We wait for the setup. We know what it needs to look like. Look at the money we are printing right now. You can't look. Look how perfect. Look at this. I told you where the flexion point would be. To the penny. To the penny. Come on. Best trader on the internet. It's confirmed. The best trader. No one else is doing this. Telling you to the penny what is going to happen in the future. No one is doing this. I promise you. No one. Not to the penny. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. And look, we haven't even tested blue. Look how much money we're printing. It's too easy. Come on. Come on. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster sometimes. Look at this. Look at the money. Easy money. I would love to show me another career path that's gonna do this. Show it to me. Every single day. When you reach multiple contracts, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The crazy, look at this. To the exact penny. To the penny. You can't make it up. It's done live, real time. I'm the best trader on the internet, confirmed. I confirm it every day. Look at the money we're printing. If you're not convinced now, I don't know what there's nothing more I can tell you. There's nothing more I can tell you. Look, I told you, single contracts on the break of blue. We never broke blue. You're making money from 566, when was it? 38? Look, come on. 568. This is, oh my goodness. There it is. There it is. Every day. Every single day we do this. Amazing. Oh. Oh my goodness. Look at the money we printed. Simply amazing. You have to trust the process. No one else is doing this on the internet, I promise you. Not like this. It doesn't happen. It doesn't. Look at the money. We knew where the profit target was, right? We know where we're gonna. Oh my goodness. Amazing. Simply amazing. You can't make this up. Single contract. When we break the blue, take your profit, and I say call it a day. There's no reason, right? I'm expecting maybe some bounce between. I don't like the way the 5 and the 20, the way it is like this. But look at this money. It's too perfect. Oh man. You know what? If I was watching this, if I was watching someone do this, I'd be like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. This is a scam. This has got to be a scam. This is not normal. This is not natural. Technically we should wait till the close, but I think single contracts, I don't know, single contracts, it's up to you. I would probably, technically we gotta wait till the close, but I'll let you guys make that call. You may play. Woo! Look at this money. It doesn't get any better. We prepared for this. We prepared for this moment before the market opened. Look at this money. Keep going. Feed it. We know where the target is. The 20, right? We know where the target is. It doesn't get any better. Simply can't. We're still in this blue. Amazing. Right? Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's incredible. Simply incredible. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Okay. Oh my goodness. That was amazing. That was exhilarating. I'm going to clean up this chart. Oh, yeesh. We know where the target is, right? We know where the target is. We know the target. Come on. Let me show you the other setups. Let me show you the other setup. Because I actually do have to call it a little bit earlier today. I have some other personal engagements to attend. Whenever it reacts off of the 200, we want it to look like this. Otherwise, if it wants to continue up past the I don't like the way these two are right next to each other, but it's gonna have to be the same setup, right? It's gonna have to be a strong push up, retest, and reject. Let's see if we start another purple. Purple's not confirmed yet, but we're gonna see if we start it once we hit the 20 MA. Oh man. Oh my god. You guys don't understand how hyped I am right now. You don't understand how hyped I am. So let's say you hesitated here and you got in on the momentum candle, right? You still made money. It's impossible to lose. Now, don't take the put just because it breaks this magenta here, right? It's somewhere. Your idea is going to be somewhere down here. I'd feel a lot more comfortable down here, though, with the break retest of this one. This is the comfort zone here. This is your alert right here. And the reason why is because we want to look for right? So this is going to be, you guessed it, a 50-50. Do you see how easy this is? Do you see how easy this is? This is not difficult. We are doing the hard thing. You have to have trust in the process. You have to have trust in the process. The process works. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. You can't be afraid of a little retracement, right? Because what does retracement mean? Look at this at 950. The retracement here. Exactly as I said. I want to see some retracement here. What happened? To the minute. To the minute. There's no trading in here, right? Because this is no man's land. We want to wait for your safest bet is going to be the break, retest, and reject off of the MAs. That's going to be the safest bet. We're not here to risk anything. We're not here to risk money. I'm telling you where the safe setups are. If you're green for the day, because I have to get out of here for some reason, personal reasons, a little earlier today. If you're green, this is how we grow the account, by not gambling the account. Take your wins, you build the account, and if you're still on single contracts, trust me, when you get to multiple contracts, 30 minutes, how long we've been here? 40 minutes, 50 minutes? You're going to be making more than your current job. I promise you. I promise you, but don't try to force it. Don't try to front run it. You have to allow it to play out the way it should play out. Because you'll see how you can take very little risk. When you do multiple contracts, you're going to be taking very little risk and collecting a lot more from a little movement. So even if it moves a little bit in your direction, you're going to be collecting a lot more, and that a lot more should be, you know, more than the average Joe gets in. You know, it'll be, you'll see what I'm talking about. Just give it time. Take your wins. You got to learn when to call it a day. You have to leave a winner. You can't constantly just sit here and gamble and gamble and gamble. It doesn't work like that. Or if for some reason, I don't know how, but if for some reason you took a loss, maybe you put your stop loss too tight and you got afraid to go to 84% rule back in, then you have to have your limit on when you're like, hey, look, I've reached my limit for the day. I'm not going to take any more losses. I'm calling it a day. That's a thing too. That is a thing too. Let's check higher time frame. Okay. Okay. So depending on how this candle closes, it's going to be very telling, right? Depending on how this candle closes, which it has still a minute and a half on this candle. Let's check our... Oh yeah, look at your 30-minute chart. Look at this candle on your 30-minute chart. Yeah. Because if you read this happened perfect. If you read this morning's trading plan, it filled the gap perfectly. And I even said it last night. I said it last night. Are we going to fill this gap tomorrow? Look what it did today. It filled the gap perfectly. You see why I told you don't go in on puts until here? And I even gave it a little bit of highlight, right? This is your trigger. This is your more for sure. This is too easy. This is too easy, print. Let's print. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Look at this money. We are... Hold on. This is a stronger channel. Look at the money we're printing. We know what the target's going to be, right? We know what the target's going to be. Come on. It's too easy. It's following my drawing to the dime, to the penny. At the same exact time, the same exact price. Listen, there's no one else. Best trader on the internet. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. There's no one else doing this, I promise you. Not like this. It doesn't happen. Look at this. Look at this money we're printing. Oh my goodness. I told you when the puts were, right? I told you when. I even highlighted them. I highlighted one a little bit thicker with the 2, and then the other one for the confirm. This is too easy. It doesn't get any easier. Once we broke out of this purple, that should have told you something, right? We broke out of the purple. Okay. There's a 50-50 here. Okay. We didn't break below this highlighted one. Okay. Take your profit and move on. Take your profit and move on. You'll understand shortly that even with this little tiny movement, when you're doing multiple contracts, it's going to equate to a lot of money. Oh my goodness. Simply phenomenal day. Simply phenomenal. Oh my goodness.
Repercussions ain't gon' ever catch me. Heard what I said, and I can't help it. I ain't never gonna rest, never gonna test me, check me. I need. You here for me. Don't you fuck around, I know you hurt by me. I need. Shawty send me your location. 120 on the freeway speeding. Big checks, blue pills, I'm feeding. Young boy finna do my thing. Get the FBI, put a case on me. Feel like everything okay for me. Shawty, hold on, have faith in me. You don't wanna. Oh, I gotta. But I gotta. You don't wanna. Type you wanna see her every day. She just wants somebody for the night. You call, I'll be on my way. Hard to love me when you got nothing to chase. She just wants somebody for the night. Shawty wanna use me, yeah. I don't need you no more, yeah. Shawty wanna use me, yeah. I don't really feel no more. Shawty wanna use me, yeah. I don't really care no more. Shawty wanna use me, yeah. Yeah. Hey, run it up, I'm mobbing. Hey, none of y'all niggas, they poppin'. Yeah, I know you do this often. Hey, I'm running out of options. I'm okay, I'm fine. Hey, I'ma swallow all my pride. Won't mean nothing but a side piece. Oh. Catching feelings with my pipe dream. Oh no.
There's no trading in here, right? There's no trading in here because we don't have a setup. Like, you can't get in on a trade now. Like, if you didn't get in on the flexion point, there's no trading here because there's no setup. The setup is the flexion points. And look, we need a retracement for the push up. You can't be afraid of retracement because that gives us the strength. Once you get your flexion point, the retracement is only telling you that we're building up strength because we know where the target is. The 20. Look at it. Look at it. We already knew that. We already knew this. It's too simple. It's too simple. This retracement didn't scare me at all. You better believe I'm holding until I'm probably gonna cut some of my contracts here when we hit, like, some of them are gonna be cut shortly. Some of them gonna be cut shortly because I knew who the target is. I'll probably take my profit. Also because I have to get out of here shortly, so I'm gonna take my profit. I'm actually gonna end all the contracts right here, right now. It's fine, and if it goes up, it goes up. I don't care. You don't understand. I'm okay. I'll be okay. I will be okay. All right, look here. When I'm gone, we want to see another formed right here. Your safety is gonna be. So every step down is gonna be your, some more strength to tell you the direction. So I'm liking this one right here, underneath 567.42. If it's not underneath 567.42 with a break, retest, and reject, then you're not buying puts, right? You're not buying puts until underneath here. I'm highlighting it. This is my long-term play for the day because I got to get out of here. All right, and the call setup is going to be with where are we? We want to see probably off of this one. We want to see a break, retest, and reject off of one of the MAs. I don't like the fact that there's two here. I don't like it that it's like right next to each other. Not a big fan of that, but this is what the call setup's going to look like, right? Above the MA. If you made money today, call it. Call it a damn day. Why risk any money? The market's not going to, it's not friendly. It's not friendly. And eventually, when you build up that account, right, and you start doing 10 contracts at a time, you will see that even one candle movement is going to give you enough, and you'll be like, all right, I'm good. You know, 2 candle movement, you'll see. It takes time. Don't rush it. So you should be asking yourself, is this the rejection of the 20? If that's the rejection, then you should be looking for something like this. You should be asking yourself, is this a rejection with this momentum candle? That's what you should be asking yourself. Are we going to break this right here? That'll be your trigger. Damn, I have to go and I'm still sitting here talking to you guys. Are we going to break this? That'll be your trigger. This will be a little more confidence, right? But even with this, you want to see a break, retest, and reject. And if it shoots down and you miss it, then oh well. But if you hesitate, then you have to increase your stop to allow for the retracement, because it's gonna form a purple. But there's absolutely no trading to be done in here. There's no trading to be done in here. If you took the rejection of the 20, okay, I get it. Because we knew that was a target at minimum. That's why I took my profit here. I know that's a target. If it goes up now, oh well. Trust me, I'll be fine. Trust me, I will be fine. All right, I got a few more minutes. I'm so sorry that it's I gotta cut it short today. So sorry, but I have to today. But you know what the call setup looks like in my absence? It's gonna be break, retest, reject of these. I don't like that they're that close. But that's what the call setup is, right? The put setup, ideally somewhere down here, 565. This one should let you know, okay, we're probably headed this direction. Half of me doesn't want to leave because I just want to see it play out, to see what happens. Because I'm kind of a nerd for this stuff. But if you will notice, you know, this bouncing inside this magenta, right? It doesn't want to break this magenta. That's why breaking this magenta is going to be a thing. That'll be your trigger, your notification, your solid, right? You see the steps. But we don't want to front run anything. You know what the call setups are. It's got to be break, retest, reject. That's just the answer. If you can't wait that long, then you need to go take a cold shower. Because this game is a game of patience. Right? How many times is it going to test the 20? How many times is it going to test it before it breaks through? We don't know. We don't know. And we're not trying to guess it. Right? We want to ride the wave. We have to find where the wave is first. And I'm telling you where the wave is, right? I'm telling you. In no uncertain terms. We're right now at this 50-50 on the what is this? The 5 minute. We're actually at the 50-50 on the 5 minute. So there's no trade to be had here. Don't try to force anything. Absolute hammer candle. So by 9:30, let's see. 9:30 to 10. Let's see what we got. It's because we're right up against the MA. It's too difficult to make this call. But this yeah. Pretty interesting. From 9 to 9:30. or 9:30. The 9:30 candle.
I can never get it too close. Cause you heard I got it on me. Couldn't pull it off like me. Shit, I just tryna let him my phone. Shit, I'm in the booth going close. Let it hear I got it on me. Let it hear I got it on me.
So when this 30-minute candle closed on the 30-minute chart, if you went in saying this is a hammer candle, look at the wick. If you went in exactly when it closed, you'd make money from 568.25 to right now. That's how that works. That's how you use the higher time frame candles.
I'm about to cut up 25 for my lane. I told him my selling is I move it to the bank, yeah. And you know they're trying to lay down with the man. Way out with the man, right now with the man. Say that she know me, Christy and they owe me. This is how she think, yeah she think, yeah. Say she adore me, Christy and they owe me. Fuck with me some money. Baby, baby, baby.
Do you see why now we have our highlighted regions? This is your trigger. This is your, this is your clue. This is your safest bet, right? That's why we don't go in on puts until, look where I drew the deflection point. For this reason. Because what we do know is we're bouncing between 567.42 and the 20 MA. That's what we do know, right? You see this? And it's staying inside of the magenta. It's not breaking the magenta. Remember I said that. All right, we broke 20, right? Now you should be saying, all right, this is my thought process. We broke 20. Are we going to test the 5 to reject off the 5, retest the 20, and then here, let me draw it because I'm just talking and it doesn't make any sense. So my question is, are we going to break the 20, test the 5, retest the 20 to do that? That's what I'm wondering now. Is that going to happen? Don't know. But I know what it needs to look like, right? I know exactly what it needs to look like. Or are we going to continue this rejection of the 20 and this is a fake out? We don't know. That's why we wait till certain key levels, right? So your puts, minimum, at minimum, has to be underneath 567.42. Minimum. Because we want to see if this is a stop hunt. We don't know. How do we confirm if it's a stop hunt or not? When it breaks, retest, and reject. That's how we confirm when it's not a stop hunt. But I still don't like the fact that there's two MAs right next to each other. And I have to get out of here very shortly. Let me check on the Discord. Oh man, today was absolutely phenomenal. You don't know what else to say. And I talk a lot and I don't even know what else to say. Today was so great. Look at it. Look at it. We knew the target. We already knew the target, right? Everyone, we had this information in the trading plan. We knew exactly what was going to happen. Or we knew what to prepare for, right? We knew that. It hit every key level precisely. Precisely. Now you just gotta wait for the setup. If you're still gonna trade when I leave, not that I don't want to encourage you to trade, to rely on me, but I just want you to have patience, right? And maybe paper trade when I'm not here. And then here it is. Let's see. I'm so curious. I need to leave, but I'm so curious. Anyways, I'm telling you where the call setups are. Break, retest, reject, firm. Not weak little just traveling up. If it just like dribbles up like this slowly over time, that's not a setup, right? That's not a trade. And you can't look back and say, oh man, I could have went in here, right? That's not how we trade. So that's not the setup. We're not going to go back and look at the obvious thing and say, oh yeah, it would have been easy if I would have just went in at the very bottom. No, that's not how we trade. We have setups. Our trading plan is contingent on the setups. Like for example, over here, when I was like, man, these puts, they look nice. However, we have rules. We have rules, right? And it will come. The setup is always going to be there. You just got to wait for it. And let's say it doesn't happen. Then, oh, well, what do you lose? What do you lose? Not money. You have to learn to be disciplined with this stuff. Because the discipline is what makes it a business. The impulse is what makes it gambling. And if it does just dribble up the whole way and dribbles down and retest, now we need to see like momentum candles. We want to see movement. We want to see structure, something, not just, oh, well, it broke, time to go in. No, not like that. If it happens like that, then fine, but that's the gamble, right? We don't want to do that. We want to have structure. We want to have the setup because it's always there. For example, this right here, look, happened perfect. Absolutely perfect. And the reason why you don't get out, this is why I said underneath the magenta, because look what it did. It bounced off magenta. That's why it's simple. Just because this one momentum candle, okay, but did it break a key level? Did it break our liquidity? So if you'd have got in on this flexion point here, because this was a 50-50 at the time, you know, you could have made money up to here. You would have had to wait for the retracement and rejection off the retracement. But there's no way to know that. This comes with time and experience and things like this. And you'll get there. Don't try to front run it. Just wait. Okay, I'm gonna call it here shortly. So normally we'd be like, look, we're in a firm uptrend. Do we want to fight the trend? No, you don't. You don't want to fight the trend. That's why you wait for the key levels. At minimum, I'll highlight it. Right, at this point, you're going to start to look for the put scenarios underneath this 567.42. If it doesn't get underneath this 567.42, don't look for puts. At least in the time frame that I'm here, right? We could have another structure set up for the put, but from what I see right now, it can't be until under 567.42. That's just the answer. And also, you know, I don't consider this a break and retest. Technically, I mean, I guess if you want to be technical, kinda, but you know, this is no money right here. That's why you wait for the structure. The structure looks like the break, retest, right? Something significant you can sink your teeth into, not just dribbling along. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Right? Because if you remember, I was like, well, are we gonna break, hit the 5, come back? You know, remember I said that? Test the 5. Damn, I have to go. But we already knew this was gonna happen. The break, test the 5, right? We already knew that was gonna happen. Easy. Easy. It's too easy. You could have just followed this goddamn drawing right here. Call it a day. Also, look at this money. Amazing. Taught a nigga how to earn your trust. I'm not concerned with them. I know you hurt some things. Look, I ain't perfect. I'm hurting, babe. That make two of us the way you purchase things. The surface level not serving us. I gotta let you in so you interpret things the way I meant. And may I vent based off the things you post online. I can't help but think you gotta stay off that. So, all right, I'm about to take my profit. So I didn't tell you guys to take this because it's too risky. I didn't tell you guys to take this because it's too risky, and I don't want to. You don't have the same risk tolerance I do. However, you know, I did know when we break the 20, are we going to test the 5 and then reject? That's why, you know, you'll learn these little tricks because you have to know where liquidity is. Once the 20 is broken, obviously the next target's going to be the 5. I didn't, you know, give you guys that because that's just not the setup for the way you need to learn right now. You don't need to gamble. I have spare money to gamble. You don't need to do that right now. You need to be looking for strong movement like this, right? So it looks like as of now, let's look for calls above 570.94. I'll highlight this one. This would be the ideal, right? This would be the ideal. We knew it was going to reject off the 5. That's why, you know, took my profit. Oh, man. Base hits count. We already knew this was going to happen, right? I drew it out. Test the 5. Reject back to the 20. This is all, you'll see it's very simple. It's almost impossible to lose. What's gonna eat up your account is gonna be the hesitation and then the FOMO. That's gonna eat up your account. Okay, I have to call it right now. YouTube, it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna cut the stream on YouTube and then Discord. I'll be in there in a second. So if you guys have anything for me,